new product launch that we're doing for the CardioCoach kiosk. We're really, really excited about it. We're really excited to share this new product with you. Introducing this product and giving you the presentation is going to be our CEO, Julie Kofoed. She is the reason why KORR is where we are today. Oh wait, KORR. We are KORR, nice to meet you. If you don't know us already, we are the leaders in the industry of metabolic test equipment. So if you've heard of VO2 Max, we are the company that manufactures the equipment to measure VO2 Max. So our presentation today will be given by Julie. She is our CEO. Before she was our CEO, she got named our CEO in 2020. Before that, she was our Vice President of Marketing. She has just been an asset to KORR's success, and we wouldn't be where we are today without her. And she continues to spearhead new product development, create strategic partnerships, and develop the branding for KORR's corporate identity. And before working at KORR, Julie spent 15 years in the heart of medicine as an acute care registered nurse, which gives her a really unique perspective on health and wellness. And her additional education in public relations and graphic design and time as a lobbyist has brought a really unique blend of skills to this industry of metabolic testing. So without further ado, I hand it over to Julie Kofoed.
It said I couldn't walk in certain areas, so a little gun shy. There's places that I can't go. So thank you for that really nice introduction, Emily. So as Ellie said, I've been with KORR for 31 years. That belies my age. It's kind of almost embarrassing. But during that time, we really have worked hard to make sure that we have devices that are accurate, that are reliable, and made a name for ourselves in the industry. In that 31 years, we have been coming to, where's my technical support? Please. Did the clicker die?
You guys need to click on the slides.
Is that it? Okay. So for 20 of those years, I've been coming to URSA, HFA. People are looking at biomarkers. Biomarkers are an emerging trend. They want to know their numbers. They want their own data, and they want to manipulate it. This is a Google search history of biomarker testing. So when people put in Google, they're searching biomarker testing for the last 10 years. Look at this spike in the last 3. This is people looking for that kind of data. They are acutely aware and interested in where can they go to get biomarker testing. So what does that mean for VO2 Max? We can tell you VO2 Max is the original biomarker. It's been around since 1928. It's the biomarker for longevity, for brain health, for all sorts of cardiovascular indicators. And so it's not surprising to see the same rise on Google search for VO2 Max testing as you see for biomarker testing. So at KORR, in this time frame, we've been selling millions of dollars of equipment to wellness centers and to pop-up testing centers that are testing biomarkers as a business. And we've been doing very well at it. But about a year ago, I sat back and I was thinking, I think this may be a missed opportunities for gyms. Because VO2 Max testing is a fitness assessment. This is not glucose or blood lipids or genetics or like any of these other biomarkers. This is fitness. This is cardio. Why in the world are we sending cardio clients out your front door and into somebody else's clinic to get a fitness assessment? You're letting revenue walk out of your pocket and into somebody else's. So I went back to our engineers and I took my little list of those issues with VO2 Max testing in gyms and said, what can we do to make VO2 Max Max testing accessible to gyms so that we overcome and make this easier for you. And this is the product. CardioCoach Kiosk is truly a revolutionary way to test VO2 Max. What we did is we took our most trusted basic CardioCoach unit and we simplified it to just the VO2 Max unit, and that simplifies the entire process of testing. We housed it in a steel constructed kiosk style manner with a tower and an industrial strength touchscreen, so it can withstand many people coming through and touching it. It has intuitive software that guides the client through putting on a neoprene mask themselves, plugging it in, and then beginning to pedal on the test. It has a walking trainer bike that then increases the resistance gradually until they reach the max. And then the results are shown right there on the screen instantly. And then you can scan a QR code and have an entire page of details about the results and information about VO2 Max. And there's even a place where you can enter in where you would like them to go within your program. For them to improve their cardio. So do you have programs you want them to do, challenges that you want them to join? Do you have personal trainers that you'd like them to join up with? Things that cycle them back into your program for cardio. So, let's see how this fits my little list of the feedback that I got about VO2 Max testings in gyms. Your personnel is limited. Needing a trainer to give the test and interpret the results. The kiosk is completely self-serve. The only point that staff will be required is when they run the credit card to sell them the mask kit. From that point on, the client is on their own. You take their money, they walk away. That could be your 16-year-old niece at the front desk, and it's a done deal. You don't have time for maintenance. The way I'm going to illustrate this is to actually show you the maintenance requirements for one of our competitors. This is their video on how to service, just because I think it's funny. So you have to wear gloves, you have tweezers, I'm not going to watch the whole thing because it takes so long, but you're pulling this apart. To get it apart, you have to inspect an O-ring. There's this screwdriver has a torque. You have to fix the torque on it. There's warnings that if you ruin your device, it's your fault. And I don't know who I would trust, but definitely not that 16-year-old girl at the front desk. So when you have a cardio coach, this is a great engineering feat. I'm so glad for engineers for this. You flip the switch at the back. Because these O2 sensors have to be replaced on all of our products. Pull out the O2 sensor. We send you a new one, I'll ship once a year. swap the new one in. There's a computer chip on that. It's been calibrated in our facility. It sends new calibration through the whole device to keep it state-of-the-art, accurate, and you're done. The girl at the front desk, she can do that. Nothing else required. The other thing with maintenance are the masks or the breathing circuits. Every device on the market has some part of the breathing circuit that has to be washed or sterilized between patients or clients. We found that extremely notable during COVID, what an issue that was. So I took that back to the engineers and I said, you need to make me something that is so affordable that we can simply make them a one-time use. And they came through. Can you tell I love our engineers? A neoprene mask with a lightweight disposable valve system and a hose that can all be used one time and thrown away or reused by the same client. And not only is it one-time use, it is so lightweight and comfortable. If you've ever done a VO2 Max test, you need to try one with this because this is a whole different experience. It's like you're almost wearing nothing. In fact, at the end, our sales guys have a couple around if anybody wants to try them on. The cost to you as a gym owner will be $18. And when we go through the ROI, you'll see this is very, very doable for someone to buy their own kit and be one and done with it. Nothing to claim. So the third thing, the last thing, and probably the most important thing, probably the most important thing, is needing to see the ROI. That's where you're going to take advantage of that surge in the industry. How many of your members really do want to see this test, see these kinds of results? I kind of have to giggle when you talk about ROI at this meeting, because we can walk around at any number of these booths and people are going to give you like wild, crazy numbers about millions of dollars you can make with the product. So I really try to be conservative. And the way we went about this is Allie, who you've met, is a top-notch marketer, and she went and did a very extensive survey. And it was very telling. So she surveyed people with gym memberships who went at least once a week. And people with gym memberships who attend once a week, 80% were interested in knowing their VO2 Max score. I don't think I ever would have guessed that number even 5 years ago to be that high. It is outrageously high. Of those 8%, 71% of those gym goers would use a self-serve setup to measure their VO2 Max score. So there is such high interest. Now, to do an ROI, I just Googled the average number of, the average gym's number of active attendees. And Google told me 1,500. You know your gyms, you know how many people come to your gym, so you can adjust that number to how many people you have. For my members here, I used 1,500. So if I had 1,500 active members, I didn't use the 71% that she had there. I thought I'm gonna really undersell for these guys. So I used 50%, so we can really be conservative. So that's 750 members that then would do a test. Now the test says, come back and test in 3 months because you want to gauge your cardio. This isn't a one and done. So you say come back 4 times a year and test. That's 3,000 tests done on your kiosk at your gym. 3,000 tests, we recommend $80 per test. This also done by surveys saying that that was a reasonable amount to charge. Considering that a full panel, full-blown metabolic test can be anywhere from $200 to $300, $80 for just a VO2 Max is considered reasonable. That's $240,000 from your one kiosk. And of course, when you go back to the mask kit, $18 per mask kit. Your 750 members, they only have to buy 1 mask kit each. So you're out $13,500 for your mask kits. Subtract that from the $240, and you're at a gross of $22,650 for your top line revenue. They cost, retail, these are $20,000. Now these guys in the black shirts, Leo and Dale, are making deals. But you can see that you're in this for 200 grand in revenue. For something that, the key to this is that it's seamless, it's flow through. You don't have to do anything for this kind of profit because nobody has to touch it. It also, what we looked at was non-members. So the other people that we looked at in this survey were people who don't own gym memberships. Is there an interest in getting your VO2 Max tested even if you don't belong to a gym? 55% of the people that we surveyed who work out at home were interested in knowing their VO2 Max score and would be interested in the privacy and convenience of testing in a kiosk setup. Third category that we looked at for non-members was community groups. There was, I don't have the numbers, but there was readily interest from sports groups. Our high school mountain biking team jumped in the chance. Our local cycling groups were excited. I know that my gym is very quiet between noon and 5 on Saturdays. And I asked our cycling team, the high school cycling team, would you be interested if you got a 20% discount to go test at the gym between noon and 5 on Saturdays? And so he said, that'd be like perfect. So there are ways to get your community to come in, use your equipment, and use your downtime to increase revenue. So then my question then simply becomes, what's next? There is a lot being said out there about biomarkers, wellness, even creeping over into recovery. What are we doing with this trend? And because it is so exploding, I think you're going to find that there's a lot of fly-by-night people out there. There's a lot of people trying to make a buck off you because there's a lot of money to be made off these consumers who are out there with such high interest. And I want to pitch that we are a trusted partner. KORR has been around for 31 years. We have products that have been on the market for 31 years. I saw a device come in to be serviced just 2 weeks ago that I didn't even recognize the color of the paint because it was so old. It was a CardioCoach. And the service tech said, did we really make this? I had to look and I said, I think we did. It might have gone up in the NASA space shuttle or something, but yes, I guess we did make this. Our stuff does not break. And so we have prided ourselves on making quality equipment. We pride ourselves on really outstanding customer support. And so if you're going to partner with somebody in this new, unknown, wild west of biomarkers and wellness, you might consider that KORR is here, we know the space, we know your pain, and we aren't going anywhere. So thanks for spending the morning with us.